Have a nice and beautiful good morning to all my dear students. Yes, we are online now. We come back to take our class. I'm Kanu. I'm going to take the class 7 Social Studies. Yes, before this class 7th, in class 6 we read so many topics about of the social science. You know about of the environment, physical feature of the earth, about our democracy, diversity, so many topics that we learn from the class 6. And again in the class 7 also, we just repeatedly study some new things from the class 7 social science. You know, every classes we get the new chances to take the new way of the learnings, and today also we are going to learn about the new topics that's called as known as the environment and its totality. Actually, this is the first chapter topic of environmental studies of geography. This topic now known as the environment and its totalities. From this environment and totalities, actually you know, before we start our chapter environment, your mind has so many views, so many questions. So what is environment? Yes, I'm just give you suggestions. Where we live, our surrounding everything is called as the environment. You know, when we take the food, that's called environment. When we watch our movies, televisions, everything, that's called as the environment. When we live, our all the physical features like our plains, a mountain, a plateau, deserts, they also call it the environment. We are also called as the environment. So from that environment and its totality, now we are going to study so many new way of the things. First, we are going to know the introduction of the environment. So where we live, our everything's natural features, food, plants, lands, mountains, everything are called as the environment. The word environment has divided into two components. How many components? Two components. One component is called as the natural, and one is known as the human. The environment has the two components, one known as the natural environment, one known as the human environment. The natural environment that has known as the nature. Where we get everything from our nature is called a natural environment. You know, the natural environment has divided into two kinds. One known as the biotic and abiotic environment. Biotic, it means all the living organisms that are sustained in our earth is called as the biotic environment. Just like the plants and the animals, who can birth and the death, who can move and who can survive his life only for the natures. That's called as the biotic environment. It means living organisms. And abiotic means all the non-living organisms are come under in our earth. It's called as the non-living organism abiotic environment. So that, my dear students, in this natural, biotic and abiotic environment has sustained a ecosystem. Which systems? Ecosystems. Ecosystem means the interactions and interdependent between the biotic and abiotic environment is called as the ecosystem. It means you know our environment like the forest, there's always take the chance for the both the biotic as well as abiotic environment in our earth. So this biotic and abiotic environment in our earth, they come under the natural substance of the environment. Again, the natural environment has the four physical components in our earth. Four physical components in our earth. The first is known as the lithosphere. Second, hydrosphere. Third, atmosphere. And the fourth known as the biosphere. So I wanted to give you all the introduction of the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. First, we are going to begin about the lithosphere natural environment. Lithosphere means the top most hard layer of the earth is called as the lithosphere. It means the word lithosphere that is divided into two words, lithos and the sphere. Lithos means rock and the sphere means earth. Any kind of the rock substances, hard substances living in our earth is called as the lithosphere. Where we live, where we grow our crops, where we make our buildings, everything that's on the lithosphere lands. So lithosphere lands also important for us, for everything, every time and every moment for our living organisms. You know, the natural physical features of the environment, that's the sustain of the lives. So lithosphere means the topmost hard layer of the earth. Secondly, we are going to read the hydrospheres. Hydrospheres, the domain of water is called as the hydrosphere. Any kind of the substance, any kind of the area we get the water is called as the hydrosphere. That's not a way, just one of the pot you get the water and that's called a hydrosphere. No. In our land, just like the pond, sea, lake, ocean, river, waterfall, that's all the part of the life are called as the hydrosphere lands. We need to live for the lithosphere to make the house, make the buildings, we grow our crops, and after that we have to drink the water, we have to sustain the life of the farm to living organism. The again part is known as the hydrosphere, that's called as the domain of water. If we get in our earth, so from the lithosphere has 7 continents. How many continents? 7 continents, like the Asia, Africa, Australia, North America, South America, and Antarctica, the 7 continents in our earth. And in the hydrosphere has divided into 5 big oceans and 100 number of sea. The name of the 5 big oceans known as the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. Ocean means the big sea, a combination to join a big area of the water, but this is called as the oceans, and 100 number of sea also available in our earth. So hydrosphere means the area where large amount of water droplets are present to give us the life form. It's called as the hydrosphere. After that, we are come towards the atmosphere. The sustain of the domain of the all the air surrounded on the earth is called as the atmosphere. It means all air bodies are living here. They're known as the atmosphere. The word atmosphere has been divided into 2 words: atom plus sphere. Atom means air and sphere means earth. The huge amount of air that living in our earth is called as the atmosphere bodies. We know what is air. Air, the mixture of some gases is called as the air. It means, you know, the like the oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, so many gases are mixing here available in our air. So atmosphere body also divided into the 5 parts. First, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. First of all, lithosphere, where we live. From our land to above 30 to 40 kilometers are called as the lithosphere. Above the part is called as the stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere living here. So beginning part of the earth where we all live are called as the lithosphere body. And one of the good layer that's known as the ozone layer that's present in stratosphere. Which sphere? Stratosphere. So that, my dear all students, atmosphere also important for our environment and its totality. After that, the most important point for natural environment is called as the biosphere. You know what is biosphere? The combination of lithosphere means land, hydrosphere means water, and atmosphere means air. It means the combination of land, water, and air is called as the biosphere, where we live and pass our lives. It means my dear all students, where we live, we get the air, from the nature, we get the water, and we get land also. It means our living area are called as the biosphere area. So this is the most important points from the natural physical feature of the earth. After that, we are going to come towards the human environment. You understand that? Yes, the natural physical environment has the two components, biotic and abiotic. And after the combination of biotic and abiotic environment is called as the ecosystems. After the physical feature of the natural environment divided into four parts: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and the biosphere. Now we come the again part of the natural environment. The again part of the environment is called the human environment. The human environment also divided into two parts. The one is known as the society, and second is known as the human itself. So society, what do you understand of society? Human made. What do you understand of societies? Whenever a child birth, it means the child has no any power to recognize anyone's. The child know only himself or herself. That's called the first position of the societies. It means not an individual. After that, family. After the society, school, temple, economics, political. That's all the background. There's a society recover for the human beings. When human beings look out to living here, to use for the school, colleges, family, society, friend circle, everything that's a come under the human society environment. Human society environment. It means human or students, when we live in our school, our home, our area, village, everything, that's called our human society environment. Human society environment. And after the second point, now we are going to read the human made environment. You know, human made means banana. It means when we made anything in our lives, that's called a human made environment. Or any environment that's useful for making things, just like the buildings, house, bridge, park, road, all the tools, everything are called as the human made environment. It means the human being that always need to use the environment to complete his own souls. It's called as the human made environment. After that, you understand this, the natural has the two components and the human also the two components, society and the human made. Society means when a human being passes his life with the help of the all the sources are called as the human made society, and when human being passes his life only for the some source of the tools and the area is called as the human made. After that, we come towards the topic known as the biodiversity. Biodiversity, just like the ecosystem combination of the biotic and abiotic environment is called the ecosystem. But you know, biodiversity means the variety of the living organisms. The variety of the living organisms living in our earth is called the biodiversity. Just like that, in the ocean, sea, water side, so many type of animals are living here. Human being himself as one of variety of animals. Just like so many aquatic animals, aerobatic animals, birds, all that, wild animals, domestic animals, so many animals are living here. That's called the biodiversity. It means, you know, only for the area, their society, they are living here. We are human beings, so we are living in the human societies. So many aquatic animals, they live in the water. So many birds, they are flying in the sky and they live on the plants. So many wild animals, they living in the forest, and domestic animals, they live in the human. Okay? So this is called the biodiversity, which is variety for the human nature. It means biodiversity means all the living organism substances. And after lastly, I'm just giving you the one of the example of the conservation. After that, today we learn so many things about our environment. How do we get from the nature freely without any cost, so that we never have to misuse the environment, because you know in our India, world, everywhere, all the people they always misuse the environment for their use. Just like that, the industry they release their wastewater into the river, so river is so dirty. We also release so many the dirty gas in our environment, so our atmosphere also polluted. And we also mining, blasting our land to misuse our lithosphere or land, so that we all the human beings need to conserve our environment for our main sources. First of all, I wanted to give you the example of the conservation waste disposal. Any kind of the waste material that we get from our house, our industry, our market, we have to be, what is that, make to dispose in only one area. That's called the waste disposal. Number two, that's called the maintenance of the balance in the system. It means if we need only for the one bowl of the rice, so only we have to eat that one bowl of rice. We don't have to misuse our power. We have to think our future. That's only the maintenance of the proper landings. Number third is on afforestation. Now human being they only wanted to living in the house, through cutting the plants and leave that area. To make the industry, make the river, road, to cut the plants, it means the plants are less in our societies. So we need to afforestation, because only for the afforestation we get large variety, large amount of the oxygen from our environment, and only for the oxygen we live to breathe here. So there's also one of the part. So that conservation also need for us, conservation also important for us to maintain the environmental issues. So my dear all students, this is our topic, environment and its totality. It means that we always need for our lives. Okay, let's start. Today I wanted to give you the 4 questions from this chapter. First question, you just write down where we need the environment. Where we need the environment. Second question, what is biodiversity? What is biodiversity? Third question, what are the components of environment? What are the components of environment? Briefly explain. And number 4 questions, where we need to conserve our environment. Where we need to conserve our environment. So my dear students, you just practice yourselves to watching this video. Okay, thank you.